Absurd Nerd, also known as Ego13, on Xbox, on Twitch. You can find me there as well. So I'm doing a review of Wildstar today, going over some of the different features, and as I'm doing that, I'll just basically be going around and doing some random PvE stuff. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to go over there's two factions. I'm playing on Dominion side. There's Dominion and Exile. The Dominion side has the Cassian, which are basically humans, Makari, which are mechanical, and then you have the Draken. They're kind of like demonic looking, and then the Chua, which are fluffy little furball rat guys, kind of like gnomes. The Exile, on the other hand, they have human Granok, Orin, which are kind of these anime looking like cats with tails and everything, and also Mordish, which are they look dark and yeah, infused. Now each side has access to all the same classes, so essentially what you have is the Engineer, Warrior, then Medic, which is what I'm playing here, Esper, Spellslinger, and Stalker. Every class takes advantage of these, what they call limited action sets. So the way that works, and since I have everything set up for healing, I can kind of show you really quick here by taking all of this off. But essentially, you go through and pretty much you can set up anytime you want. You can change your build very easily. It's as simple as this. It's a very nice feature just because it makes it very easy, to set things around. You can basically set everything up to where, however you like it, and it's just that quick and easy to change your builds out. There's also amps, which are kind of like talents in most other games. Now, there's also the Spellslinger, Stalker. I think I went over all of that. Then we have for the paths, which is paths are kind of separate to everything else. So they give you activities to do while you're leveling. This character happens to be a settler, where you have these little nodes where you can actually pull up, path skill guide, which gives you kind of a little bit more experience for that path. Travel speed booster. Basically, it'll pull these up for a certain amount of time if you have the right resources to donate to them. Now, the way the other paths work, explorers generally have, they get path experience for finding new things. They'll kind of have, missions that pop up and allow them to go to different areas. Soldiers pretty much end up just killing a bunch of stuff. They have missions that are assassination, or sometimes it'll be basically a defense wave type things where you're taking on waves of monsters, and then scientists go around and they pretty much collect data from the world and level up their paths that way. The nice thing is your path actually gives you extra skills as well, which are not down to your normal limited action set. So you have, I think it's 8 abilities total that I will unlock in the end. Then you have one path action. That path action, I can make campfires, or summon a mailbox, summon a vending bot, summon a crafting station. All of these things are very useful when you're out in the field and, you don't want to have to go all the way back to town, or say, for instance, you're raiding and you either have mail or, have something that you want to sell, you maybe fill up or need to repair, whatever the case may be. So that's, that makes all of that a little easier. All of the different classes have different abilities that they do gain, though. Now, the game itself relies on an active dodging system. What that means is you have abilities like that where everything is, done in front of you. There's a telegraph, and if they dodge out of the way, then they end up not taking any damage. If they don't, then they do. So it makes it nice and easy to know whether or not you're getting hit. In PvP, it can get a little hectic because essentially you have, a ton of people all doing the same thing. And you have that active dodge, kind of like Guild Wars 2 had there. The nice thing about this one, though, is it is far more refined. You know, the active dodge in Guild Wars 2, with them not having the Trinity, it pretty much meant that everyone was playing all for themselves. You'll find that there is the Trinity maintained in this, so you have healer, tank, and you know, DPS roles, which is always nice. And you know, the nice thing about like medics is they can kind of go between. Every class has multiple, you know, roles that they can actually maintain. So that's really a benefit there. Right now, obviously, with it just releasing about a week ago, there's a lot of little things, such as, you know, you'll have a little bit of more lag than normal, and sometimes where you think you're hitting, you're not. So I play personally mostly on a PvP server. Well, only on a PvP server, but I play a lot of PvP to level up. I pretty much don't do many of the quests. Speaking of quests, this game is completely a theme park game. You're going to run from quest to quest, whether they're, you know, different, you know, say quests that you're, whether, like, for instance, I have a quest over here to free these guys, but then you can see here, this is actually some settler, my path, giving me actions to do, so I can collect these and then contribute to things over here, which can open up more items to do because I'm a settler. These are settler missions right here, and these are, you know, my normal quest log here, so you can see all of that as well. You know, the nice thing is you can completely level through PvP. They have a, you know, a queuing system for battlegrounds. They have quite a few different ones here. We'll go over. So as far as for PvP, the way it kind of works is you unlock, you know, different PvP battlegrounds as you go up. Can't do rated until later on, but there are rated arenas and rated battlegrounds. And you know, you can see 2v2, 3v3, and 5v5 teams that you can set up there, which is awesome. Gives you a little bit more of a variety, and you even start off obviously at 1200 rating. That seems to be kind of where, you know, most other games have also done similar things. Now, they have dungeons and they have adventures. Adventures are, these are both PvE content. Now, dungeons themselves, obviously we're all familiar with those. The difference here, though, is that you cannot queue for a dungeon until you've actually been there, which is a nice addition. A lot of people didn't like the fact that, you know, everyone's instantly transported in other games. Then we have adventures. Adventures are essentially, you know, they're kind of like if you were to go into an area like this that's spawned just for you. They're simulations for a group. So they're a little harder areas. They're completely simulated, and you go through there and you get some you get fat loots, as they say, at the end. Now on the PvP side of things, we went over the arenas, the battlegrounds. They also have war plots. War plots are a brand new thing. These are 40 versus 40 guild wars that you set up. You kind of stock up your war plot. You buy the things with your gold. You set it up how your guild sets it up however you guys want. Then you go out and you fight another guild. You know, so that's obviously just similar to the arena. You have a rating, and that increases as you do better. That's a great addition, in my opinion. And then up until you actually can do those, you have to do basically practices up until that I believe is around level either 30 or 40. Now, there is also a housing system, and you know, the nice thing is your house is completely separative from everything else. You know, people have mixed feelings about instanced versus non. Personally, I'd rather have them instance it, so that way I don't have anyone else messing with my stuff. I don't have to worry about all of these people, you know, doing stupid things. I kind of have the base one here right now, but I can easily go in and change, for instance, to the spaceship, and then it basically goes in. It's going to build up the spaceship. I hadn't done anything yet. From there, you have your crate full of things. Once it's done building, I'll have that there. So we have my crate full of things. You'll find decor as you go throughout the game. You click on it, it goes to your box here, which is nice. And then essentially you can put these up, as I found this earlier today from a box in PvP. So I can put that up anywhere. There's a lot of nice little things here, so I can open this, make it bigger, make it smaller, whatever I like. There's even bigger, more advanced controls if I really, want that. But right here we have the advanced controls over here, so I can change everything about it, move it around in the world. If I want finer control, move it up or down. It's very, very, liberal with what you can do. So that's about that with the housing. The other nice thing is while you're in your housing area, you gain rested experience. So you want to log out here whenever you can. You also have your board here. These bonuses change every single day. Sometimes it'll be 10% PvP. It basically, one of them will be 10% each day. So these, you click on these, this will give you a buff for 24 hours. And that basically will allow you to get a bonus, so I'll get 5% more experience during PvP. Now that's basically the game in a nutshell right now. Personally, and now to go after that, I'm having a lot of fun with this game. There's the guild functions are nice. You have, your guild here, and which obviously there's quite a few members in the guild that I'm in. But then you also have circles. Circles are, they're not mutually exclusive to guilds, whereas you can be in one guild, you can be in 5 circles. And the nice thing about the circles, you can invite anyone, you can start your own, you can set it up, basically just start it up right there and then invite your friends. That way you have a way of communicating with, that small group of friends if you want to maintain that small group. And then still basically join a large guild so you can get things done, then you can do that. For PvE, they also do have the 40-man raids, which I can't wait to get into. As far as the combat goes, they've refined greatly the Guild Wars 2 model. There's all of the dodging and everything that you would expect. The difference is where Guild Wars 2 gave you the illusion that you could dodge, some of those auto attacks and things like that. With this, very well what you can and can't dodge. You're out of the way or you're not. And the dodge is only there to help you get out of the way faster. It is by no means an invincibility like it is in Guild Wars 2 at times. So that gives it, to me, it makes it a little bit more valuable because, it's really just a positioning tool. So, they do have questing in the game. I actually have not done much on the questing side yet, so I will do a completely different write-up on that later on. And as always, check out the Absurd Nerd on a daily basis. We're always uploading and adding new things there. It was my pleasure going over this with you, and tune in